Good morning. What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to King Boss Quads channel. I've probably filmed this intro, I don't know, I'm gonna say at least 3, maybe 4 times at 10 minutes long each. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start a new intro since we've got new content. Obviously, the Hawk is connected to the trailer here for a reason. Half the reason why I'm doing a new video. I'm just gonna set my coffee down here. It's 8 o'clock on a Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Lots to update you guys on since I almost never upload to this channel any longer. I guess that's what happens when you have a kid. But at any rate, no excuse there. Tons to go over here, guys. This is going to include a few things. First and foremost, it's going to talk about and conclude the Defender saga. Now that I can legally talk about that, I definitely will. We are actually getting the Evo back this Friday. That's why this is connected and ready to go. Huge planner here. We're going to talk about some of the upgrades we made to the 10x10. We're going to talk about the Subaru. We're going to talk about the 6x6. And then, of course, we're just going to show you a little bit of the house changes and whatnot, since we are kind of in the beginning or dead of winter, the beginning of February. Although it hasn't been much of a winter, unfortunately, these snowmobiles haven't had much use. I think one quick ride, the trails have not been open. That doesn't break my heart, guys. Not a huge snowmobile lover, as you can tell. We've got a ton of side-by-sides here. In fact, if it never snowed again, I probably wouldn't be super upset. That being said, the track system over here, the HMX, tracksystem.co, best tracks out there. We're going to do a whole kind of disclosure on that, comparing them to the Apache 360s. I'm getting a ton of comments online about that itself. Yes, the Trackhawk is out of winter storage. I'm tired of just looking at it with a cover on it. It is a perfect winter vehicle. Now, I won't drive it. If there's salt on the roads, I won't drive it if it's snowing. I didn't put the winter tires on it this year. It's still got the 4S's on there. So definitely doing this just for the photo op, being able to pick up the Evo, which is going to be a flat black, and then this camo Hawk, which makes 1,000 wheel horsepower. So a little bit of the Evo as well. It's done. It's dyno tuned. Slavo Eurocharge tuned it for me, did an excellent job. We'll do a whole walk around on this video for that. So sit down, gear up. This video is gonna be a doozy. I bet you it's at least an hour long. So guys, if you're probably wondering, this trailer, I can't remember the exact footage, but it's quite lengthy. I'm going to say it's probably 25 feet long. It's full aluminum. My buddy Steve over at D3 Fabrication hand built this. It's got overbuilt axles on it, and it weighs 1,600 pounds. That's it. You heard me correctly. So why not, right? The Hawk can tow 7,200. The Evo is like 31 or 3,200 wet. So we are well within the towing limits of this. Not to mention that the Trackhawk is obviously not stock, and I'm not worried about that at all, guys. I mean, thing about superchargers is they don't really care. Like a turbo loads up. Superchargers, as long as you keep it consistent, not flooring it, you're pretty good to tow with them. I've had no issues towing that. I've towed my big boat with it right over there in the past. I've towed my Sherp with this. I've towed pretty much everything with my Trackhawk at this point. You're probably wondering, hey, why not take your F350? Let me tell you guys, the F350 is a great vehicle. I love it, but I've got it all cleaned up right now. There's a few more things I want to do to it before we get ready for mud nats. So I'd rather just keep it clean and just not have to wash it, because washing that is a nightmare in comparison to washing something like this. So where do I dig in first? My goodness. Let's talk about the 10x10 real quick. There has been some changes to that. We have gone ahead and added the TCP off-road brass bushings. Kind of see them a little bit better right there. Highly recommend it as a modification on any of the Can-Am platforms. They give you these really chintzy, real shitty urethane bushings. They might last a ride. For example, we've got our brand new Defender here. It's got less than 500 kilometers on it. I've already had to replace the rear bushings on this. So we put the TCP ones in there. Lifetime. We'll talk a little bit about that when we come to it in terms of upgrades, but definitely the TCP bushings in this. We've also, from One Life Outdoors, got these really cool Southern Trail off-road whipless LED whips. They're just a really concentrated LED that shines up and captures vapors in the air and kind of creates this hologram image that'll go straight up. I've got 4 of these that I'm gonna install. I think I'm just gonna put 2 on this guy here and then 2 on Megatron over there. But that's pretty cool stuff. Outside of that, there's not much really that's changed here, other than we've got all new bushings in this thing. We've done a proper alignment on it. It's had all its fluids changed. This is completely ready for Mud Nationals. For those that know me, I obviously have an opinion. Yep. So, geez, what's going on here? What's going on? Where to start? What to do? Let's first talk about the Defender. So, bit of a saga. We've made quite a few changes, mostly appearance. So this is the same Defender that caught on fire, guys. If you think the French are gonna give me a brand new Defender, absolutely not. That being said, huge shout out to Lockhart's. They really stepped up when it comes to this unit. They took real good care of me. They picked it up, they dropped it off. Not a single dime out of my pocket, as you would expect. It should be that way. The thing damn now caught on fire. And I'm gonna post the video for you guys to see. As you can tell, there is cameras literally everywhere in this building. So we caught it, and what an unbelievable event. Basically what happened was your voltage regulator, which is just over here on this side, it malfunctioned, shorted out, and caught itself on fire. And they did, there it is right there. And they did a really good job at Lockhart's cleaning this up. You couldn't tell that this machine was on fire. It's been functioning perfectly ever since. I have put a battery cutoff on it or kill switch on it. More about that later on. I do recommend putting those on every single Can-Am machine. They burn down, guys. Snowmobiles more than anything else, but I am not the only victim here. Can-Am's machines catch on fire all the time, as do Polaris's. They're not perfect. A lot of automotives will do it as well. We were running the Apache tracks on this. My good buddy runs this company here, the HMS, which is the Track System Canada. My goodness, he messaged me and he goes, hey dude, want to talk to you a little bit about these tracks. I was complaining about the top speed being 60 kilometers an hour on the Apaches, and it just felt darty, heavy, antiquated, typical Can-Am style. Put these bad boys on, and we're gonna show you the review videos on that here. I'm gonna just tap those in at a moment. So I'm gonna pause this video so that I have a natural break in it, but these are the cat's ass when it comes to tracks. And I've got a full, complete write-up on that so you guys can kind of see what they're about. But you'll notice how much larger that this gear wheel is compared to the Apaches. We'll talk about the pluses, we'll talk about the minuses for sure. But this is my favorite unit. I freaking love this unit. Got the windows all tinted. Notice that I've adjusted the doors. They close. Big saga about that. Over here, 6x6, still an excellent machine in the fleet. We've had a lot of issues with this door swinging open and these brackets bending. Now they're cheap, right? This is stamped Chinese shit, with all due respect. And these parts are so back ordered from Can-Am that you're about 6 months before you can get any of them. So we've had to kind of get creative, heat them up again, bend them back into place. I have a full set ordered, so that's all 4 pieces. When they get here, I'm gonna ship them off to a machine shop and actually have them made out of real material, powder coat it, and I'm gonna put these up for sale so you guys don't suffer the same issues that I do. Very common issue, by the way. I don't know how many people have messaged me saying, hey, look, I've had it happen, it's wrecked my door. Bike's at dealership, there for 6 months, parts are back ordered because of a hinge. Come on, Can-Am, you are better than this as a company. Well, actually, no, you're not. You actually frustrate me more than any other company I deal with. And I still don't know why till this day I own this many Can-Ams. Probably because it's still superior to Polaris in every way and category. But at any rate, we did add the Halo locker to this. Not Halo, my goodness, the torque locker. I've had Halos, they're junk. The only Halo that's worth a damn is the Halo 30, I think it is. Big spline, big money upgrade, full billet differential. That's what I have over in the 10x10. Not necessary for this, as this is kind of the gentle cruising rig / utility rig. So we did do the torque locker in here. Shout out to Dirty XMR for giving me a hand putting that together. Went swimmingly. My goodness, if this came like this from the factory, what a great machine. Those Visco locks, They are junk. Throw them out. There is no bigger trash for a differential on the planet. Whoever created that, jump off of a bridge. Find the highest bridge in Quebec and please jump off of it because they are garbage. They are not even full-wheel drive. With this, it is completely locked up. I absolutely love it. The new ones here, I'm just getting a call, gonna deny that call. The new ones actually come with a locking differential. So shout out to Canon for actually doing something right and listening to people. You can see here, they've actually got the front locker on this. Just a way better system, way, way better. Visco lock, garbage, complete junk. I fixed it. It works exceedingly well now. No issues with that. There are no changes with my dad's bike at all. And then with Megatron over here, we are just replacing a brake line. We had a little pinch in a brake line. So I'm going to pull all the internal parts out of that and deal with it. Does anybody else hate, and when I say hate, have a profound desire to find the engineer that put these seats in and made them with bolts and all that, and potentially beat him up? Because I do. Because I hate doing this. It is literally the worst thing to do. I will actually avoid jobs in this just from pulling the seat. So, you know, you got to pull these off. You got to kind of like get into a yoga position and get down in there, or you can pull your seat cover up and try and get down in here this way. It's just a really crummy design. Polaris, one button, flick it, pull it up, off you go. Pay attention, French. Pay attention, please. But anyway, we're also going to put some whips on this guy as well, as I had mentioned. So looking forward to that. Good old fit and finish of Can-Am. Isn't it great? I know I complain a lot, guys, but I own enough of them to be able to do that. But otherwise, this thing is ready to go for Mud Nationals. Sans the brake line. Love it. Getting a lot of questions about the pellet stove. Love the pellet stove. It is probably the largest source of heat in this entire house. And I am going to do a house tour on this video as well. So buckle up for that. We're going to do it in segments. What I'm going to say about the pellet stove is the in-floor heat almost never clicks on. And the second that clicks on, my good friends over at Budget Propane get their 14-inch dildo out and shove it up my ass, because it's at least $3,000 for them to show up here. And that's happening every 5 to 6 weeks. So the pellet stove has really saved my butt in terms of not giving Budget Propane a ton of money. Not that I have anything against Budget Propane. Obviously, the prices are set at a more political level, but we'll save my thoughts on that for a later date. We've got the skid steer tinted here now, so we just got to add a few of the windows back in. We have to take them out to get them tinted. Shout out to local Outlaw Tinting. Matt does a great job for his for all your tinting needs here in Muskoka. Love it. All right, guys, I am going to pause this video here. I'm going to talk about the Defender content and add that, and then we're going to skip to the next segment. I think the next segment is likely going to be a walk around of my Subaru over there. So thanks for tuning in. Keep watching. All right, gang. Says here we're doing a 53 high-speed test. Here is low gear. See if I can get everything on the speedo here. There we go, that's low. Really tapped. 25 or 15 miles an hour. Boy, that is slow as snot. No thank you. I'm going to do a video beginning to end here. So please keep in mind that my system says that it is currently November 9th at 11:25, and it is currently an hour less than that. We just not adjusted it for time change. So if we head on back here to 6 p.m., let's go a little bit further back. Let's go a little bit further back. Let's go a little bit further back. Okay, so you can see here that I've not moved this Defender. In fact, let's go further back in the day. You'll see that this Defender has not moved all day long, okay? So let's just push this forward a little bit. I ended up going to check the mail. You'll see it does move eventually. I'm just progressing this here. All right. Not much further. This is right around end of 5 o'clock when I went out. So you can see the Defender's gone, right? And it's gone just for a short. So that says 1850, so 650. It was actually 550. We're just gonna progress this just right to about here. So still gone, 7 o'clock technically, but 6 o'clock. Progress it, look at that, it's back. 7:06 p.m., technically 6:06 p.m. All right, we're just gonna progress it. I'm gone inside, doing my rounds, filling up the pellet stove. All right, we are now at 6:35 p.m. Let's progress this, 6:45 p.m., 6:50 p.m. So I told you, I was without a whole hour. It's a whole hour now without me touching it. There's nobody in the shop. I'm just gonna go back to what I think is the most insane thing you'll ever see. Dogs always know what's up, guys. So you'll see this here. It might take a second or so, but you see my golden retriever? He's like, hey, something's not okay here. He just he's following his nose, figuring it out. Now at this point, I suspect it's likely burning an hour after I left it, but look at Alfred. He's like, hey man, this is not cool. Something is definitely happening to this stupid French machine. You'll see a puff of smoke comes out the top here. German Shepherds, by the way, no fucks. Well, you'll see it here any second. It's just right around here. It's around the 7 o'clock mark. He comes back. You definitely smell it. I mean, it's just destroyed our whole building for stench, but like he's right in there. This is why Golden Retriever is the most superior dog on the planet. I don't care what anybody says. There's the first puff of smoke that just came out. Kind of see it coming up. But it gets out of hand real quick here. Within the next 30 seconds, you'll see that he's just decided that he's had enough of the smell. Here it comes up on the right side. If you guys just look under the Mustang here, it's starting to come up quite progressively. So now he goes back and he starts scraping at the door. Let's see if we can progress this just ever so slightly, but he's definitely onto something for sure. So if you guys look, we're at 12:02. So we're at 6:02 technically. Here we go. Now Alfred's scraping at the door on the left side, but you can see it's completely filled my shop with smoke, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. It took me 10 minutes to notice it. Imagine I was asleep with my family. Oh, that's too far. That's me running out. By the way, there was a 3-foot flame when I opened that up. That's me grabbing the wiring harness with my hand through the flame. Here you go. Here you go, Can-Am. All right, gang, so that concludes the Defender saga. The part that failed obviously was never given back to me for obviously research purposes, I hope. But now we have a perfectly good working machine. They've all got battery kill switches on them just to prevent that from ever happening again. Look, was that a freak accident? Yes. You know, Can-Am makes thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of vehicles every year. Obviously, a small percentage of those are going to have some sort of fault or issue. It's just regular science. It's regular math, guys. You know, am I upset about the situation that have happened? Obviously, I've got my family asleep in the house here. Was it expected? Absolutely not. Was I fairly treated at the end? Yes, I was. And as kind of mentioned on there, you know, huge shout out to Lockhart's for really going to bat for me on this. Picked the machine up, dealt with it, dropped it off, a few extra goodies. So thank you, Lockhart's. Thank you to Brad, Tony, and Kevin over there for honestly just being great family members and great friends. So I'm still loyal to the Can-Am BRP brand, even though, you know, we've had our little fight, rightfully so. They've made it right. I'm quite pleased with the outcome, and it's a really good workbench too. So thank you guys for not asking me every single day what was happening with there. Obviously, I had to kind of watch my P's and Q's legally, but it all worked out in the end, and you guys got the raw footage in which I can share. And it is a beautiful sunny day here. Woo, look at that. Love it. All right. We are going to continue this. So this video has been done in quite a few segments. Say hello, Boost. Well, guys, it's now spring, kind of. Well, we're getting unseasonable temperatures, and by unseasonable, I mean incredibly warm, and I'll take it all day, every damn day. Heck yes. Here's a little slice of beauty for you guys. Best place on earth, Muskoka, Canada. Love it. Look at those clouds. It's going to be gorgeous today. Update on the bars coming too, but I really wanted to use this session to talk about my really dirty Evo. I'm so sorry it's dirty. What happened was last night I washed the Subaru. It got too dark and too late and too cold, so I said, you know what, I'm going to wash this one today. But ample opportunity while it's down to give you guys a bit of a walk around. I'm not going to be talking to you. I'm talking to the camera. Please show some respect. Put some respect on it. All right, guys, we've got an 02 JDM Evo 8 MR. Although it does have an Evo 9 facelift on it. Reason for that is I think the 8 bumpers are just a little bit weak, so we went with the 9 bumper on this one here. Absolutely love it. And again, I'm sorry it's dirty. If you can look at the carbon fiber, though, oh, it's just so freaking nice. Absolutely love it. So Cybon hood, Cybon trunk lid. We've wrapped it. We've put RPF ones on it. If you guys grew up with me, you would know that the RPF one is my kind of go-to rim. As you can see, I've got them on my Subaru here as well. We'll use this video and we'll do a walk around of both at a high level. Keep in mind, I've been out of the import scene now for quite a few years. So this is kind of a little bit of nostalgia. For me, I keep walking up to this side to get into the damn thing, which is kind of funny. So I got this car last year, and it's always been a childhood aspiration of mine to own a Subaru and, well, an STI and an Evo at the same time. And so it's pretty damn clean, if you ask me. I frickin' love it. So great interior. Actually upgraded the deck to a Pioneer deck. Which kind of need nowadays. You can see here, we've got everything in the back seat, which is nice and lovely. Just overall, a really well kept car. So for you guys that are wondering what's actually done to it, there's been a lot of talk online about the build. So quite honestly, we ran out of time on this build and way over budget. So we did what I would consider to be the bare minimums. It's an ETS kit. It makes 411 wheel horsepower. It's got a small turbo on it right now, pump gas tune. This is this year's setup, guys. We are pulling this motor out this coming fall. It's getting built motor, built trans. We just ran out of time. This engine bay is going to be completely repainted. We're going to take the wrap off the car, and we're actually going to go with a flat white. I finally made a decision. So kind of similar to my Tesla Plaid when I initially had it. We're doing the flat white. I think it's going to look really, really, really cool with this carbon fiber hood and carbon fiber trunk lid. We also went with some teen suspension. Haven't seen those in years. They ride like junk, just like they used to when we were kids. But, you know, it's part of the game. And here it is here. You can see that it made 412 horsepower, 313 foot-pounds of torque. And honestly, guys, we weren't pushing it. We kind of just kept it pretty neutral. This stock 6-speed is definitely, although we put a clutch in there, definitely not going to last very long. So I'll beat the snot out of it for this season. I'm sure it'll do quite well. These Evo motors are pretty stout stock. Just a few more upgrades to it here and there, but otherwise, this is a fun car. What I love about it best with the Evos is the rev range, the noise, and the fact that it literally tears all 4 tires off this in first and second gear. Very different visceral experience to that of the Subaru. The Subaru is a lot of torque. It is a lot of weight. It's just a completely different beast. So for those that are wondering, I had bought this car back in 07, is an 06. This is my first big boy purchase as, I wouldn't say an adult, because adults don't buy cars with whale tails on the back like that, but I sure as hell did and had no regrets. I said regrets, that's right. So much about this car. This car is my lineage, it's my heritage, where I learned to wrench. I pulled my first motor on this car. I installed my first motor on this car. Every nut and bolt on this car is... let's put it this way, has been replaced by me, been cross-threaded by me, and been fixed by me at least 4 times. So bought this in 07. I remember I paid $27,500 for it. It had 70,000 kilometers on the dial. It is a US car. And I just kind of went ham after that. Let me just move this over. We have the, and I haven't said this in years, the Carlton fender flares. I chose, when I installed them, to leave them black. I think it just kind of pops a little bit. I think they look really good. The car itself, look at me, I'm going to the wrong side again. This is going to get really hard to me. No, this is the right side. Guys, bear with me. It's early in the morning here. This is the problem when you own too many vehicles. But the car is absolutely mint. We've got boost gauge, we have fuel pressure gauge, we've got EGTs, air fuel, and I can't remember what the other one is there, but it's pretty important. One of the first to put a gauge actually here, and the heat still works, and the AC still works. This car is freaking mint. The gentleman, and that's how you break things, the gentleman who I sold this to never actually drove the damn thing. He put a built motor in it. He was a Subaru mechanic. And he just kind of added some lovely touches to it. So here you guys go. A lot of this is some original stuff that I put on there. For example, that Aeromotive air fuel or fuel pressure regulator. I put that out on the dyno in Neutronics because we're having fuel pressure issues. But this is, you just heard that, guys. I have to figure out in the settings how to turn off the fart noise. Whoever turned that on, I hate you more than life. So this has a Bloch Dom 1.5 XTR turbo. Believe it or not, they make roughly similar power. And what we're going to do is we have the dyno for this guy. We're going to take this to the exact same dyno probably this week and get it on there and just kind of see what they're making. If we were to race them, and you guys always ask which one's faster, I think it's the Evo. I just think the Evos are faster in general than the STIs. Which is more fun to drive? The Subaru. By miles, you get it in second, third gear in a corner. You can get it sideways pretty easy. It lights up the turbo pretty easy. Overall, quite happy with this setup. And this setup is going to be monstrous here eventually. I predict that the Evo's likely going to be one of the fastest, if not the fastest cars in the fleet. That being said, we are putting a built tranny in that this year, and we're going to send that. So these two should be pretty much on par with each other. They are kind of now. I'm just really worried about getting my foot into that throttle on the Hawk early in the RPMs, because those Whipples make so much torque down low that I know it's just going to rip the tranny apart. But at any rate, yes, this has over fenders on it. Yes, it was a track car. It's got harnesses. It's got a track bar in the back. It's got all the white line sway bars that you possibly could need. So I will plan on tracking this at least once or twice this season. Absolutely love it. what I love about this, and I didn't show you guys this, just the little touches, right? In life, these cars will stay with me until the day I die. Just super cool stuff like that. Huge shout out to The View, Fab and Frank, just taking my retarded requests and making them reality. So love you guys, really appreciate that. I will hopefully get this on a dyno this week, and it's a Mustang dyno, and we'll see what she's actually making. So both are tuned on 93, Shell 93, and that's actually running on 93 as well right now. I will tell you, I have done extensive testing between Petro 94 and Shell 93, and the Shell 93, both in summer and winter, has much better knock resistance than that of Petro 94. I said it, probably every tuner out there is not used to that just yet in Ontario, because Shell 93 is brand new as far as I'm concerned. But yes, it is a significantly better fuel, is what it is. This is actually heading to the bar outside. A little big, if you ask me, but it'll work. It'll work for sure. And so I do owe you guys a house walk around. We'll put that in this video here as well. Hopefully I can cut and seam these all together so that it makes viable sense. But in the meantime, enjoy my incredibly overcrowded shop. Oh yeah, our gate openers died. Got to get new ones. Thanks, Toppins. Quality product. All right, we're gonna do a house tour, but I'm gonna do it on part 2. There's just so much to update you guys on. As you can tell, we have cables here now. So just gonna do a little cleanup. When you have a kid, shit's everywhere, is what it is. But yes, stay tuned, like, subscribe. Part 2 is coming right up.